Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, One Punch Man Season 2 Episode 8. You know my opinion about last episode. You know I consider it the worst episode so far of the second season. I was terribly disappointed going into that episode. Honestly, I genuinely hated that episode. And I don't like the way this series is turning out to be. I am still reacting to the series because it's more of a... I don't know if because I'm a freaking masochist and I enjoy being tortured by this anime because yes, it's not the same. Even if you don't compare it to the original material, to the manga or to the webcomic, it's still not the same. You cannot feel any effort into this. At least I don't feel any effort. But yes, I don't think you're here to hear me ramble, at least not in the presentation, to hear me ramble about how I think about the series. I'm gonna try to judge episode by episode. So yeah, I will try to get rid of my previous statement, my previous opinion about the last episode. And yes, perhaps this one is going to pleasantly surprise me. Hopefully, that's what I'm praying for. But anyway, yeah, let's cut this presentation because it's a weird one, and let's watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 8th episode of One Punch Man. I am still kind of ambiguous in the regard of this episode because there are parts which are pretty good, but are parts that are not that spectacular. Some portions of the fight between Shiryu and the Perfect Genes guy, I don't remember his name, are kind of good. Are pretty good actually. But again, the disappointment I feel is when the spectacular level of animation should be going is when it drops. It doesn't... It's not the same the beginning of the fight and in the end of the fight. Especially when he just punched his horns out, well, he punched his face and rip off his horns, and that is when it's kind of disappointing. And yes, I kind of give up into giving the kind of synthesis of the episode because yes, it's very simple. It's very simplistic synthesis. They are being offered to transform into monsters. Some of them doesn't want to, some of them accept the offer, and yeah, that is basically the premise of the episode with some interventions here and there. And this is something I have been analyzing for quite a while. Something after watching the second time, I really start to analyze why some scenes I don't like, why this is not connecting to me as it should be. And I finally get it after, I don't know, it's been like an hour since I watched the episode the second time. So yeah, I took my sweet time to really analyze, and I watched this particular scenes a little bit more time. So yes, I can finally understand the angles they use for this fight are not good. The angles are way too flat. They do not portray the level of energy that you should be feeling in this moment, in the moment of fight, especially in the angle with the fight, or the fight between the red guy, I don't remember the names, and Shiryu. It's just flat, it's not interesting, it doesn't portray the strength, of the real strength of the punch that Shiryu gave in that moment. That's why it didn't connect with me. The rest of the scene is still kind of holding these bland angles. There are some portions in which, yeah, it looks pretty good, but there are other portions in which, okay, yeah, this doesn't feel as strong as it should be. Because again, when Shiryu holds the freaking energy, the ball of energy, and just push it toward the sky, that should feel like a lot of power being expelled and being rejected, but it doesn't feel that way. At least I don't feel it like that way. But there are parts between the fight of Shiryu and this other dude in which you kind of feel that strength that these two guys have. The problem here, and this is something that is going to sound a little bit contradictory because I praised these in the first episode and in the second episode, I think, The sound mixing in here, the sound effects are not appropriate. Why I say this? Yes, I enjoy this obnoxious, even perhaps some people don't like this obnoxious sound, this overly inflated sound. I find it funny and I find it entertaining. I love, especially when you're speaking about the strong punches. The problem here is that the sound kind of overwhelms everything around, which it shouldn't be. It should be just part of the action. That yes, you can hear the huge sounds in the background, but the action is still portrayed as these sounds are necessary, like an explosion or a punch from Saitama. But in here, I don't feel it was necessary to overinflate the sounds, and I find them way too obnoxious. I didn't enjoy that part that I really did enjoy in the past, because it's way too much for me in this instance. So yes, that is something that stopped me from enjoying the episode more. So yes, in the end, I did enjoy the episode. It portrays something a little bit better than the last one. The feeling of despair that you kind of feel for the fighters is palpable. That yes, you kind of feel, oh, these guys are in danger, even if they are not that well drawn in some instances. But you kind of feel it, and you kind of feel that moment. Yes, there are portions that you find boring, of course there are. But you kind of feel that despair that these dudes are going through. Because yeah, this monster, Goketsu, is a very strong monster. Is kind of on the same level of the gigantic centipede. It's kind of in the same level, the same amount of strength. So yeah, this guy is a threat. He is capable of defeating some of the S-class heroes. As we saw, he was capable of beating Genos. My guess, he is capable of beating Piri Piri Prisoner. I don't think Flashy Flash will be beaten. It will take him a lot of time and a lot of effort, but in the end I think Flashy Flash will be able to defeat him. And I think that Tsumaki will defeat him, and with no further information, honestly, because again, Blast hasn't appeared, not in the manga, neither in the manga nor in the webcomic. We only see him briefly. We don't know anything about Blast. Well, there are certain things we know, but again, I'm not going to say anything. There are spoilers there, but not enough information to really measure the power of this guy. Perhaps Blast still will be able to defeat Goketsu. Yeah, my guess Bank 2. My guess the first 5 perhaps will be able to defeat him. Perhaps even Watchdog Man. I'm still not sure, because yeah, Watchdog Man is pretty strong too, as you saw in this episode. But yeah, Goketsu is pretty genuinely strong. He's a threat to this city. That's why he's level dragon. They don't reach the next level because, again, I'm not gonna say anything, and this is not a spoiler, it's more of a theory of me. Anyway, yeah, we saw kind of the other participants going out, and yes, some of them ate and some of them. I love the way Shiryu is behaving in this episode, because yeah, he defeats the other 3 dudes, like they transform into monsters pretty easily, because yes, again, he's genuinely strong, he's seriously strong, and he defeats the red guy, as I said previously. The one he's having problems with is Goketsu, because Goketsu is in another level, he's way too strong. Stronger than anybody else in this tournament. And as we saw, including the other dude that transforms into a monster, even with that help, he wasn't able to defeat Goketsu. Goketsu is way too strong. But I love the philosophy in this moment. And this is the spoiler I was hiding from you guys when I speak about Shiryu and his speech, that he's not a bad guy. He just enjoys his free time. He's a free spirit, let's say. He doesn't want to defend anybody. He doesn't want to get involved into fights if it's not fun. He doesn't want to become a hero. He just wants to enjoy life. That is his purpose. But he is not an evil person. And everything, and this is in the manga, in the anime. This is not a problem with the anime, and it's not even a problem because this is a character that it's well developed in both sides. That, yes, this is a guy who wants freestyle, but once he saw what heroes really do, in this case, even the weak heroes, the Snake and Lightning Bolt, or Lightning Max, try to defend him and try to help him, even though they are not strong, not even in his eyes. And this is when he starts to understand what a hero really does, what a hero really is. So, yes, this is kind of the change in his mind. Not completely, but it's starting the change in his mind. Because he still wants to run away. Because he knows just how strong Goketsu is. But of course, the heroic figures that are in the tournament still wants to fight. Why? Because they believe it's their duty to fight against even this overwhelming threat. That's why they fought against the Sea King, because yes, he was strong too. And that's why they are planning to fight against Goketsu. Obviously, they were defeated, and this is when the introduction of our new monster appears, and of course the plan, but it's pretty obvious what they were doing. The plan of the Monster Association. Our new monster, which is one of the other contestants, the dude that enjoy making suffer the rest and threat Saitama. Of course, the threat against Saitama is nothing, and he became a monster. And once they say, oh, we need to move, he wants to keep torturing this everybody in the stadium, especially Shiryu. But of course, he's defeated pretty easily by Goketsu. I'm holding my tongue because I want to make a comparison with the manga. I'm holding... Okay, screw it. This is my commentary. In the manga, you saw more of a fight between Goketsu and this dude. We not just saw the freaking punch and that scared this other dude from Goketsu, but we saw a little bit more fighting, and this is showing off that, yeah, Goketsu is way too strong, even with the monsterification of the other dude. Yes, that is, I think, a weak point for the anime. Well, one other. Anyway, we saw that, yeah, Goketsu is very strong, and he's called back to the Monster Association. We discovered that several people were transformed into monsters, but of course this other dude wants to torturing Shiryu. In this moment, he's in his lowest point. He's begging for mercy, and he's screaming for help. So yes, we saw this. In this moment, we saw him as a pathetic human being. And this is kind of, I love this moment because this kind of solidifies this character. That yes, he has accepted that the heroes are some important part of this society, of this superhuman society, or this society with monsters. And they are important. And this is when the change kind of solidified in his mind. That, well, not solidifies, it's still growing into his mind. And yes, he's begging for mercy, he's begging for the other heroes to rescue him. And we saw different images of heroes, but yes, portray different levels of heroes. The S class, the A class, I think I saw a C class or a B class, I don't remember. But yes, in this moment is kind of the culmination of the despair before the grand moment or the grand entry of a hero, and none other than Saitama. Saitama arrives into the scene, the best possible scenario for this guy. Because, I mean, there are monsters that are stronger than A-class heroes, than S-class heroes, than B-class heroes, of course, than C-class heroes, of course. But against Saitama, you know that he cannot lose. You know that this monster is done for. You know it. And I was a little bit angry with the anime because they just cut it there. There is no extra scene. We just saw Sonic in the last scene, of course. But it works great for a dramatic moment, for a dramatic cliffhanger. So yeah, in retrospective, it was a good thing that the anime ended up in this precise point. I was mad because, well, I wanted to see a little bit more, or I want to give me my satisfaction of seeing Saitama punching somebody else. But yeah, this is a good cliffhanger. I have to end up accepting that. Now, is this just as bad as last week's episode? No. It is better, a lot better than last week's episode. Does that make it good? I don't know. Perhaps by the standards of this series, of the second season, only for the second season, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good episode. They managed the drama, they managed the despair, they managed the hopelessness pretty well, especially in the second half. The fight, once more, is what disappoints, especially, as I said before, the angles they choose to show the fight. I am still a little bit dubious about this episode. Yeah, there are good things, as I said, good cliffhanger. I love how they changed the character of Shiryu, because yes, before that you kind of see him as a villain. Now you see him kind of like a victim. In this case, yeah, a very bruised victim. And you get to see Saitama for one last time before obviously the end of the episode. And it's a good cliffhanger, as I said before. There are some portions of the fight that were pretty spectacular. In general, a good episode for the second season. A good episode. I won't say the best, but it's a pretty good episode for the second season. Obviously, there are obnoxious parts. The sound, I did not like the sound in this part. The fight, again, the end of the fight is not that well done. I like the voice actor for Shiryu. Really, he really gave his all. I think that was a pretty good acting for him, especially with the despair part, when he's just desperate, asking for help. I really like that one. Yeah, in general, perhaps I'm a little bit weak. A weak, good episode. A weak, on my part, of course. A good episode, not completely convinced, but I'm willing to say that it is a good episode. Not as bad as last week's episode. But yeah, a decent one, especially with the parameters that this second season just gave us. Anyway, that's it. Again, a better experience than last week's. Last week was the worst. But yeah, I think that's it for now. I exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoy it, and see you in the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like, so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks, and see you on the next one.